Former President Donald Trump reported to a downtown Manhattan courtroom Monday morning for the start of jury selection in the criminal trial that charges him with falsifying business documents to cover up allegations of extramarital affairs that threatened his 2016 White House campaign. "Nothing like this has ever happened before," a disgruntled Trump said, speaking to reporters before heading into the courtroom. "There's never been anything like it. Indeed, the moment marks the first time in U.S. history that a former president is tried in a criminal case." The presumed Republican presidential nominee, appearing in his signature dark blue suit and red tie, called the trial a political persecution, an assault on America, and an attack on a political opponent, terms he's used repeatedly for more than a year to describe the 34 felony charges he faces in this trial, along with his 3 other indictments, ahead of the 2024 presidential election. Trump stands accused of falsifying business records to cover up payments totaling $130,000 made to his former lawyer, fixer and confidant, Michael Cohen, to reimburse him for helping to pay off a porn actress who said that she had an extramarital affair with Trump years earlier. Trump has pleaded not guilty and has maintained he did nothing wrong. Jury selection is expected to take up to 2 weeks as lawyers vet 6,000 potential jurors, 1,500 of whom will report today, until they have a dozen individuals and 6 alternates who both sides agree are able to be fair and impartial. The lengthy process will ask potential jurors to answer a slate of 42 questions, which aim to extract information about their politics and ideology, though they won't be asked who they voted for or to whom they gave campaign contributions. Instead, questions will focus on which news and social media sites they use, to which podcasts they listen, and whether they consider themselves a supporter of extremist groups like QAnon, the Proud Boys or Antifa. Trump is already under a gag order from Judge Juan Merchan that bars him from making public statements about witnesses, jurors and others connected with the case, including the judge's family. That gag order will be tested by Trump, who's had trouble self-censoring his thoughts on his Truth social media account, including as recently as Monday morning, when he called Merchan a crooked judge. After jury selection is finalized, the trial is expected to take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks to complete, though delay tactics by Trump's lawyers could complicate that timeline. The jury is expected to hear from a panel of witnesses that include Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer, fixer and confidant, Hope Hicks, former White House communications director, Stormy Daniels, the former porn star to whom he's accused of making hush-money payments, David Pecker, the former CEO of American Media Incorporated, and others. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg describes the prosecution of falsifying business records as the bread and butter of the Manhattan office's white-collar crime division. But for a felony conviction, Bragg must prove that Trump falsified records in order to conceal another crime. Prosecutors will argue that the crime Trump looked to conceal was a campaign finance violation, since the purpose of the payoff was to keep quiet damaging information that could hurt his presidential campaign, though Bragg chose not to charge Trump with that particular crime. The so-called hush money trial isn't the only legal affair on Trump's calendar this week. Monday also marks the deadline for the former president to file a brief in the presidential immunity case that the Supreme Court is set to hear next week. In another history-making moment, the justice's decision will settle whether Trump can claim full immunity from a federal indictment that accuses him of plotting to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election and inciting a riot at the Capitol.